Good morning, everyone, and happy Friday to you. I'm so excited to be with you, and I've been thinking about our talks, which have been focused on decreasing your anxiety. And I've been thinking about it because I want to make sure that I am giving it to you in a manner that makes sense and in a manner that is progressive. So yesterday we kind of talked about how people's anxieties are raising, particularly during this social distancing. And anxiety, as I want to remind you, is simply fear of what could happen, focusing on the future. And one of the things we talked about is trying to stay present focused. What's happening right now in my life in this moment? What do I have control over it? And yesterday I ended by asking you to identify what your triggers may be. Again, triggers are things that when we encounter them, it increases our anxiety because they are reminders of challenges or traumas or situations that we have experienced in the past. Triggers can be sight, something that you see. It could be ignited by a smell. It could be ignited by a person. It could be ignited by a song. But it's something that very quickly changes your mood to a place of fight, flight, or freeze. A place where you're kind of like deer in the headlight, stuck. And it takes you back to whatever that unpleasant memory was. And so what I want to talk about today is what to do when you get triggered. What to do when you get triggered. It's, excuse me, I don't have coronavirus. I just swallowed incorrectly. And I'm saying that to reassure you all because some of you are concerned every time you hear someone cough. And some of you are like, But anyway, I digress. And so when we get triggered, one of the after effects of being triggered is you almost feel like, or you do feel like you are back in that situation that traumatized you, that you're right back there. Some of you have experienced this awakening from a nightmare. And when you wake up, you have to take a couple of seconds to center yourself because you don't know where you are. When you wake up, you may wake up yelling. You may wake up fighting in your sleep because you are very present, focused in that dream, and it's hard to differentiate the nightmare from reality. So what can we do when we become triggered? And I want to teach you about something called grounding. You can ground yourself. And I'm going to use a couple of different examples. And so let's say you wake up from a nightmare, since that's the first example I gave, and your heart's racing and you may be sweating and you are really fearful and you have no idea. You think that you're still in that place that is creating terror for you, and it's taken you a while to realize that no, you're actually in your bedroom. So the first thing you want to do is focus on your breathing. But even if you can't do that, what I would suggest, and this is a part of grounding no matter where you are, is to rub your hands. Rub your hands on your thighs, rub your hands on the bed. Just make contact with something that is physical, that's outside of you, outside of your thoughts, to make physical contact. Rub the sides of the bed, rub your hands together. That will help to bring you back to the present moment. For a lot of people who may have been in the military or whatever, may have been in a bad car accident, but this came up a lot with the veterans who I worked with. They may have been traumatized by accidents that occurred in Humvees or while they were serving in the Middle East. And so driving has become problematic, particularly when their mind remembers when they were deployed that they had to scan constantly to see if any debris or anything left on the side of the road had the potential of being an IED, of being a bomb. And so when they come back home, and that's no longer the issue, even when they're still driving, if they see roadkill, if they see something on the side of the road, they become triggered. So again, when you're driving, if you become triggered, you can rub the steering wheel. Literally rub your hands along the sides of the steering wheel. Literally take your feet and rub your feet on the floor. Anything that connects you to the present. Because when you become triggered, you are now no longer in the present moment. Your brain has gone to that past challenge, to that past trauma. Another thing you can do when you find yourself becoming triggered is to have a coin or a crystal or some sort of stone, something small enough that you can keep nearby. But when you find yourself becoming triggered, and I'm going to show you with a crystal that I have. I don't know if you can see this, but this is a crystal. I don't know what kind it is, and it doesn't matter. Whatever crystal speaks to you or not. It could be a rock from your backyard, whatever. But when you become triggered, just rub your hands on the crystal. Again, it's connecting you to something physical that's bringing you back to the present moment. And this is a bonus. You may not be the person being triggered. It may be someone who you are with. It may be your loved one. During this time of social distancing, we're spending more and more time with each other. But if you notice that someone does not appear to fully be present, that they may have gotten triggered by something, one of the things you can do to help is ask them, what is your name? Where are you? What year is this? Just to get them to talk can bring them out of that past memory and bring them back to the present. I want to end, because I was supposed to say this yesterday, but I forgot. So tomorrow was supposed to have been my launch party for my book. But with social distancing, that is not going to happen in real life. It's not going to happen in real time. So I've made the decision. Someone said to me, are you going to have a virtual launch? And I said, no, I want to wait until we can all come together. But I've decided that tomorrow I'm going to do something for the very first time. I'm going to do a live Facebook feed at 7 p.m. Saturday, April 25th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That would be 4 p.m. on the West Coast, and the rest of you in the country can figure out your time or around the world. But 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am going to do a virtual book launch, and I'm going to read a chapter from my book. And so if you're interested, I would invite you to support it, to share it with your friends. Again, I have never done a Facebook Live before, so I'm a little nervous, but I'm also excited. And I wanted to share just a part of my book with you. And until then, have a wonderful day on purpose, and find you something that can help to ground you when you become triggered. Love you all. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.